ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be but your man Lou? Yeah.
The LouieTeeNetwork is powered by MusicHead University. MusicHeads, classes in session. Turn me up. Enroll on YouTube now. Link is in the description.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome to Monday Night Football Overtime. Vikings, Bears, NFC North Family Business. You know how the family do it. And the NFL went 4 for 4 in their primetime games to kick off the season. It's the first time I can remember where every game had entertainment value. There's usually a stinker in there somewhere. I thought this was going to be the one. I told you I thought that this was going to be a low-scoring game, that we were going to come on here. A lot of you were going to complain that it was a boring game because there wasn't a bunch of points scored. It was going to be a defensive struggle. And for about 3 quarters, I felt validated. I said, damn, I'm good. I'm good. And then the fourth quarter happened. And all hell broke loose, and this turned into a hell of a football game. I'm going to say something here that in my mind, it feels controversial. It feels like a hot take. I'm not a hot take guy, but I feel like it's hot take-ish. Like I shouldn't say this, but I feel this. So I'm going to say it. We hadn't seen J.J. McCarthy yet. He's the last piece to that 2024 NFL draft class of quarterbacks that went in the first round. 6 to be exact. And we didn't know what he was going to look like. And a lot of people, weren't big fans of his coming out of Michigan. I know I wasn't, but I did acknowledge that there's a place for a guy like J.J. McCarthy and his talents in this league if he's put in the right situation. And you can't be in a better situation than J.J. McCarthy has found himself in Minnesota. With the quarterback whisperer, with Justin Jefferson, they're going to get Jordan Addison back here at some point, T.J. Hawkinson, and all of the weapons that he's going to be afforded. He's going to be just fine with the defense called by Brian Flores. He's going to be just fine in Minnesota. Okay, here we go. Deep waters. Of those 6 quarterbacks that were taken in the 2024 draft, Caleb Williams is going to be the worst of those 6 quarterbacks. Caleb Williams is emotionally unstable when things don't go well. And it's not like he's out here freaking out, but every time shit starts to go poorly or it's not going well, it looks like he's got an earpiece in his ear and someone's threatening a loved one. And he looks like he can't function, like he's got, constipation or something. Something's wrong. And he wears his emotions on his sleeve. We got all the fingernail painting and the colorful jewelry and all the extra shit that he does, which has nothing to do with nothing. That's him showing and expressing himself, which means I think he's an emotional being. And that's okay. But football, it devours emotional beings. If you can't channel that emotion into being a better version of yourself. And I haven't seen that from him yet. I just haven't. When shit starts to go south, he presses. It looks like the weight of the world is on his shoulders. And I don't know if that developed when he became Caleb Williams, like this big, prospect as a, middle school or high school or whenever his name started to resonate. And people started to say, you're the next big thing since ... But it seems like every single time shit starts to go off the rails for Caleb Williams, or it starts to not go well. And I'm going to tell you right now, he needs a supportive coach. Ben Johnson is not the right coach for Caleb Williams because he wears his emotions on his sleeve too. He was pissed off on the sideline the whole night. The whole night. Y'all keep thinking I'm bullshit when I tell y'all he gonna F around and Tyson Bagent gonna be in that bitch this year. I'm gonna tell you right now. And he wasn't terrible tonight. But I'm telling you right now, if this shit doesn't go well, Ben Johnson ain't come here to kiss nobody's ass. He didn't come here. He took this job knowing I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm Ben Johnson. And yes, they drafted Caleb Williams. And no, they're not looking to move on from Caleb Williams. But if he thinks Tyson Bagent gives him a better chance, he's not going to hesitate. And you're only going to get so many more of them head shakes where he pissed off like, God damn it, DJ was open. You know, I was pissed off because this is why I tried to stay away from making picks and things of that nature, because then you become emotionally invested. This has nothing to do with that, though. This has nothing. I made a pick with a $15 wager. I'm not tripping over $15, right? Listen, Caleb Williams is an emotional being. And until he is able to do a better job of channeling his emotions into positivity, because again, Ben Johnson is not the right head coach for you to be emotional as a player, because Ben Johnson doesn't have emotions, bro. He's a robot. You heard him talking about him. And if you've ever listened to Ben Johnson, he's awkward. Okay. His interactions are, even when he's trying to be funny and show personality, this shit is awkward. He reminds me a lot of Adam Gase. He's not Adam Gase. Okay. I think he's a million times better than Adam Gase. Adam Gase, I think he had Asperger's syndrome. That's nor here nor there. But Ben Johnson's personality is that of someone who, I don't give a shit about nothing else but football. All right. You have a lovely wife. That's great. Awesome. Did you get XJet, two chain, waggle, split left, cheetah? Did you get that whole concept? I just made some shit up. I don't know what kind of play call that is. But he don't give a shit about none of that other stuff. Why didn't you hit DJ Moore open on the corner route? He was open. Why didn't you hit Rome on the post? He was open. That's all Ben Johnson cared about. You don't want to hear about none of that other shit. And again, Caleb strikes me as one of those dudes. He needs somebody to come over there, put his arm around him. Hey, you're good, bro. You got this. He needs somebody to build him up. And Ben Johnson is one of them dudes that's going to tell you, bro, you fucking up. Get your shit together. Get your ass in gear. Caleb be missing too much shit too, man. Can't miss that touchdown late. You had to have it at that moment to DJ Moore. You got to have it. That's a touchdown, bro. A fourth down throw to a wide open. I think it was Colston Loveland. Bro, what are we doing? There was no pressure. Nobody, obstructing his view in the pocket. You got to make that throw, bro. He missed too much shit. And he's still holding on to the ball. He made some plays with his legs. And he's a much better athlete than I gave him credit for. I knew he could move. I knew he had that crazy escapability, but he showed some wheels, some real wheels tonight. He outran some dudes that are solid athletes. The talent is there. We all know it. This is what I worry about. I don't worry about the arm, the athleticism, the ability to, improvise, none of that shit. I just worry about this with Caleb Williams. JJ McCarthy endured real adversity tonight, enough that it will break you in your first game as an NFL starter. He could have lost this game 27-9 and we wouldn't have blinked. If Cairo Santos makes that field goal, that's probably how the night ends for him. 27-6. He gets his ass kicked. He throws for less than 100 yards. And we go, man, they got a long way to go with this kid, JJ McCarthy. But it was a pretty rough showing for him tonight. And none of us would have blinked. Because you know what? Your first start on the road against a good defense, despite them missing their two best corners, you're like, look, man, that's a tough environment. That's a quality defense. We get it, bro. Better luck next time. You get them next week, right? But you know what he did? He showed the intestinal fortitude and the mental toughness, the mental gymnastics you have to play sometimes being a quarterback, especially a young one. He showed the ability to rise above all of the adversity that he was facing. And he tapped into that national championship swag. And he led his team to an improbable victory tonight. I'm just telling you, Caleb Williams doesn't have that ability right now. I haven't seen it. I didn't see it in college when he was at SC. I might have seen a glimpse of it when he was at Oklahoma, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in college. I haven't seen it in the NFL. I don't know if that exists because you got to have mental toughness in this league. You're going to make mistakes. Shit's going to happen. It's not always going to go well. And you got to be able to say, you know what? We still going to get this shit done. Every time Caleb Williams, something doesn't go. You saw him. He was pouting on the bench in the third quarter. When he had the delay, when he had the intentional grounding, he went over the, bro, y'all are up 17-6. He looks like somebody's in his ear saying, hey, if he misses this field goal, your whole family's gone. He looks like the weight of the world is on his shoulders, bro. Why are you going over there pounding on the sidelines for? You up 11? Yeah, you made a mistake. Shit happens, bro. JJ McCarthy threw a whole ass pick six. A whole ass pick six. The man had less than 60 yards passing. He was getting his ass whooped. And he went over there and he talked to every one of those offensive linemen and said, hey, I'm going to get my shit together. Y'all just keep rocking with me. The run game came alive. He started to get into a rhythm. Next thing you know, he's throwing darts, bro. He's throwing darts. That touchdown pass to JJ, to Jettas, what? He reached back and said, I got a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, bro, and I'm about to show you right now all 98 miles per hour right here. He had to zing that. That was poor receiving space in there. Jalen Naylor was literally 3 yards away from him. There's another defender trailing him. And he said, I don't care. That's Jake Jettas, bro. I'm finna zing this bitch in there. And he did. That throw to Aaron Jones was not an easy throw. The safety wasn't that far away. And then he kept it. I had him on rush yards, and he refused to run. I'm like, bro, just run for 18 yards. Why are you doing this to me? Just run for 18 yards. And he said, hey, I got it, bro. I got it. Let me do me. And he pulled it out because I'm like, he's an athlete. Use your legs, bro. And they saved it for the perfect time. Read option, pulled it out, took off, touchdown. Threw 2 touchdown passes, ran for another one, 21 unanswered points after throwing a pick six that looked like it was going to doom them. I mean, how many times did the play clock run all the way down to like 1? I mean, he was struggling, bro. He was on the struggle bus. But you can't coach mental toughness. Either you got it or you don't, bro. Either you got it or you don't. You can push somebody to the limits that they may not have known they had. Talk to some ex-teammates of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was a hard-ass teammate to have because he didn't give a shit about your feelings. Horace Grant still crying to this day about his treatment from Michael Jordan. And I'm not saying what Mike used to do was right, but Mike was one of those fierce competitors that all he cared about was winning. He didn't give a shit about nothing else. And if he hurt your feelings, if he was an asshole to you, that was just the cost of doing business for him. I'm looking at Caleb Williams, and I'm saying Ben Johnson's one of those dudes. He don't give a shit about nothing else other than winning, bro. And if you in the way of that, he's going to find a way to find somebody else. He came from a place where Jared Goff ran his offense to a T, bro. I don't know if y'all watch quarterback or not, and you saw the interactions between he and Jared Goff. That's how I know what Caleb Williams is dealing with. He better get his shit together. Because I'm looking at the other 5 quarterbacks. Michael Penix played well enough yesterday. That man made every play that needed to be made for them to win the game, and his kicker let him down. I'm looking at Bo Nix. Mo Nix is a really good quarterback, but he's in a similar situation to J.J. McCarthy. Really good coach that knows how to coach up quarterbacks, great defense, and good skill position players around him. He'll be just fine. Drake May is going to be good because he's just good. He's like that. We already know what Jaden Daniels is in that group. The only guy right now that I'm looking at and I'm like, bro, your head coach ain't like, he's one of those special offensive play callers, but he's not nurturing, right? Which is what Caleb Williams needs, a guy like Kevin O'Connell. He don't need a Sean Payton who gonna get in his mix, tell him his shit stinks, and say, you better get your ass in gear, right? Sean Payton will cuss his ass, slam out. He don't give a damn. You saw the interaction between Bo Nix and Sean Payton in Bo Nix's rookie season? When Bo Nix said, man, get the out my face, and Sean Payton said, no, you better get your shit together. And they was going at it. And I was like, hey, Bo, don't back down. You ain't no bitch. It's Bo time. Sometimes you got to let these coaches know, hey, I'm a competitor, bro. I'm like that. So they can respect you. It's a respect thing. I respect you, coach, but I'm also a competitor. I'm out here trying to get it too. I don't know if Caleb can exist in that kind of realm, right? Like Ben Johnson, look, he was Ben Johnson was pissed off. Ben Johnson is pissed off. So we gonna see what happens with these quarterbacks. Because usually when you see a draft like the one we saw, and again, it's a rarity. You don't get 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round. You don't get 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks. Okay, that doesn't happen. But anytime you get multiple quarterbacks taken in the first round, 3, 4, 5, whatever the number looks like, there's going to be stinkers in there. This one doesn't look like there's any stinkers. So when I say Caleb might be the worst of the bunch, he just might not be as good as the rest of the quarterback. He's not going to be ass. He's too talented. He's too talented for that. And I'm still looking at Drake May sideways like, bro, when the light bulb going to come on and you're going to stop doing some of this, bullshit, because he did it last year. And I was like, yo, how many times you going to throw a pick at the end of the game when you got a chance to win? And when you going to stop doing that shit? But I also have to remember that Drake May is really young. Till McCarthy came in here, I think he was the youngest starting quarterback in the league. So I always got to remind myself, Drake May, he's young. And they could do a better job of surrounding him with weapons. There's not a lot of great talent out there. But I think he's going to be just fine. I worry about Caleb because I worry about this. I don't worry about this with any of the other 5 dudes. Caleb's the only one that I think is mentally fragile. And Ben Johnson is not the right pairing. And I'll take it a step further. That Chicago organization is not necessarily the best organization. They're not the best run either. I don't know if it's necessarily the best run organization either. Or either. But I digress. Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings, man. Till the victors go to spoils. Let's talk about the Vikings. What a effing comeback by J.J. McCarthy in his first career NFL start. If you're a Vikings fan, celebrate. You saw everything you needed to see in one game. You should be elated if you're a Vikings fan because you saw adversity. Like, I always worry when success comes to someone really early on. This is why I wasn't a fan of, I was a fan of his talent. But I was so skeptical of Trey Lance because I said, he ain't never seen adversity. The man won every collegiate game. He wasn't turning the ball over. So you really didn't know, how does he respond to adversity? I saw how my quarterback responded to adversity last year. We lost 3 games in a row. And my guy came back and got it out the mud and took us all the way to the NFC Championship. I saw how my guy responded to adversity. I saw Bo Nix struggle at the beginning of last season. They didn't score a touchdown the first 2 weeks. I believe, let me say, I think they scored against Seattle was his first start. I think they did score a touchdown, but it was bad. It was rough. And then the next week they played the Steelers, and I don't think they scored an offensive touchdown. It was rough for Bo. Then he went to Tampa Bay of all places and said, let me get all of this shit up off me, man. It's a lot of weight on me right now. Let me get this shit up off me. He took that damn backpack off. He had a bunch of weights in the shit. Went out there, put up like 27 points, beat Tampa comfortably. I was like, wait, what? Oh, you were 0-2, you were struggling, and you go to Tampa of all places and put up 27 and dominate? What? He's like, yeah, I'm like that. Yeah, I'm like that. Went to Kansas City. Went to Kansas City and was ready to put his foot in Mahomes' ass. And the field goal kicker got the kick block. I said, okay, you like that. So I just started going down the list. I looked at Michael Penix in his face. He threw a pick on the first possession against my Commanders. And we put him in the most impossible situation at the end of that game. Second and forever, fourth down and goal from like the 17, and he throws a dart for a touchdown. And if not for his coach's inability to manage the clock, they probably beat our ass last year because he took them right down the goddamn field. I said, all right, I already knew this about you, but you like that. I'm still waiting for Caleb Williams to show me he's like that. Adversity hits. Don't sulk. Don't go over there and look like your dog just died. Buckle up and say, no, I'm finna go out here and go get it. And every time some shit starts to go south for him, he looks depressed. I'm gonna see. Because I think Drake May is mentally tough. I think he's mentally tough. I've seen him make some plays and do some things, but he always F it up. Everything that he does good, he undoes it. So I'm still waiting for him to turn the damn corner. Nobody has more talent to get the football to than Caleb Williams. Nobody has more talent. There are other quarterbacks that have a built-in excuse of, hey, man, they got to get me some more shit, man. This ain't enough. Not Caleb Williams. Not Caleb Williams. They fixed the offensive line. They had too many damn penalties tonight. But how did I get back to Caleb? Back to J.J. McCarthy. Sorry. He showed me everything that I needed to see in one game. Because I know the guy's a winner. I know that already. Can you do it at this level? And, for him to endure the adversity he had in this game, man, I mean, everything that could go wrong was going wrong, right? You getting penalties, delay of games, clock running down, they sacking you, you threw a pick six, right? They dropping passes. They're not even helping you out. Adam Thielen dropping a pass. Well, there's a good defensive play by by Stevenson to pull the ball out. But you weren't getting any help. Justin Jefferson had one go right through his hands. He dropped the pass on one that we know Jettis catches that, going down low and digging it out. So you're not getting no help from your teammates. You kind of shell shocked. It's loud. Shit's moving fast. I mean, like warp speed for you. Play clock down to 4 every time you get up there and you clapping for the ball. They ain't snapping the shit. I mean, it was rough. He didn't flinch. He didn't flinch, y'all. He ain't blink. He ain't flinch. He wasn't scared. He stayed in the fight. And eventually, he started to take the fight to the Bears. That's a road win in the division. Let that sink in. That's a road win in the division. Does Caleb Williams have a road win in the division in his career? I'm just asking. I don't know. The answer may be yes. Has he beaten the Packers? Has he beaten the Vikings? Has he beaten the Lions on the road? He's had chances. I know that. Has he gotten it done, though? I don't know the answer to that. It feels like the answer is no. That's what I'm going to tell you. It feels like the answer is no. I know he's beaten the Packers. Last game of the season, that was at home. The bottom line is, J.J. McCarthy went on the road in a hostile environment. Everything that could go wrong was going wrong. He was not getting support from his teammates. He was being harassed by the Bears front. Odangbo was having himself a night. The play clock is constantly at 1 as he's clapping for the goddamn ball. Snap me the bitch. The run game is non-existent. And then he throws a pick 6 to boot. This man stared adversity in the face and said, "You will not today. Not today. Not on my first game as a starter on national television in my hometown. You will not today. Maybe next week, maybe the week after that, but you will not today." I got respect for him. He earned my respect tonight. To do what he did in the fourth quarter on the road, respect. Respect. And Kevin O'Connell did what I thought he was going to do, and he confirmed what we already knew. He's the QB whisperer, man. Like, he went over there, he kept his cool like he always does. After the pick 6, what'd he do? He went over there and talked to him. "You good, bro? Don't worry about it. Stay in the fight. You got this." And JJ was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good, coach. I'm good. That's what Caleb needs, right? When Caleb looks like he's constipated, he just need Ben Johnson to go over there and say you. And Ben Johnson's not doing it. Ben Johnson got the scowl on his face. He pissed off because he's thinking about 3 plays ago when you had a wide open DJ Moore on a corner route and you decided to try to throw an out route to Olamide Zaccheaus. He's still pissed about that shit. He ain't trying to hear that shit you talking about. How many times Troy Aikman gonna say, "Well, he had an opportunity down the field to such and such, and you didn't." Then they pan to Ben Johnson, and he like. One time we saw him cussing. He was like, "God damn it!" He was hot. JJ McCarthy had this shit going in the fourth quarter, and then Jordan Mason came alive. It was good to see the run game because I told y'all on the skill game. I'm like, look, I don't love the Vikings run game. I don't love their rushing attack. And they got Jordan Mason from the 49ers, and they still got Aaron Jones. I'm like, I don't love the shit. And it started out just like I thought, like, I don't know if they're going to do enough to help J.J. McCarthy tonight. And then slowly but surely, the tide started to turn. They got a little bit of momentum. How about Eric Wilson tonight, bro? Off the bench. He was like a clutch pinch hitter that you pull off the bench in the 7th inning with 2 outs. He come in, get a base hit, drive in 2 runs, and you just keep his ass in the game. Like, you know what? Hey, stay in, bro. I might need your bat one more time. And he was like, "Yo, I'm good. Yeah, I'll be in here. I'm not the best, player out in the field, which is why I was on the bench in the first place. But I can get by long enough to get me another AB." And then on the last AB, he hits another home run to win you the game. Like, he came in, had a big special teams hit. Then he started chasing around everybody on offense for the Bears, right? And then he blocks a punt. This is after Brian Cashman gets injured. And he's just supposed to be filling in. And he just goes apeshit. Andrew Van Ginkel, he did it again. Look, I don't know for the life of me why anyone would attempt a wide receiver screen of any kind. Tunnel screen, a basic regular wide. Don't throw any kind of screen in Andrew Van Ginkel's direction. Why? 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 You like living dangerously? That's what you want to do? I'm good. I would rather not. If he's on that side, I'm checking to the other side. Or we just getting out of this shit altogether. I will say this, though. Because I thought the corners were solid. I didn't think the pass rush was good enough tonight for the Vikings. I was surprised. I thought they'd get more pressure on Caleb. He was slippery as hell because it seemed like they couldn't sack him. Jonathan Allen had a chance to get him early in the game, couldn't get him down, and he was running all over y'all. So I wasn't impressed with the pass rush. I thought that was somewhat lacking tonight. A little disappointed in the pass rush. It was good to see Javon Hargrave get a sack, though, because you're going to need him to step up this year. But I thought you would get more out of the front. That was a little disappointing because you could tell that you didn't really want to blitz tonight if you didn't have to. You didn't, like, when you're playing Caleb, like, don't give up anything cheap. Make him earn everything because he's going to miss some throws. You just got to apply enough pressure. Enough. But if you can get pressure with 4, you just got to stay disciplined in your wrestling because he's going to run backwards. He's going to run sideways. He's going to use the hell out of those blockers to try to create some space so he can take off and run or extend the throw. But if you can somehow keep him contained, you can sack him 4 or 5 times in a game because he's one of those dudes that don't give up on plays. And I thought you guys were going to be able to do that, and y'all just couldn't corral him for whatever reason. And he is slippery. So I do get that. So I was a little bit disappointed in the pass rush tonight. But outside of that, I actually thought, the corners weren't terrible. There were open opportunities, though. I ain't going to bullshit you. If Caleb Williams wasn't Caleb Williams and he was somebody else that was a little bit more decisive and accurate, you're probably going to lose this game more likely than not because there were opportunities. On the 4th down, the first 4th down they went for that they didn't get, he missed a wide open target on that one. That was a hell of a catch by Cole Kmet because that wasn't a great ball, right? He missed DJ Moore on what should have been a touchdown. Like, there were opportunities that were missed in this game. But with that said, this Vikings team showed resilience tonight. And that goes a long way. Like, you're not going 14-3 this year. Your schedule's not going to allow for that to happen, and you have a rookie quarterback. But if you get to the postseason, I think you have a much better shot than you ever did with Sam Darnold as your quarterback because you ain't winning shit. Because Sam Darnold struggles from the same thing that Caleb Williams does. It manifests itself a little bit differently, right? Like, he isn't over there on the sidelines looking distressed, but mentally his shit is doing flips in his head, right? The man out loud said, "I'm seeing ghosts." Like, who says that type of shit out loud knowing that you're mic'd up? Who says that? Somebody that mentally ain't tough. That's who. So you got out of the mentally, impaired game, and you got yourself a mentally tough kid in J.J. McCarthy. And with that defense, with the weapons that you can put on the field, I got a shot to be decent. That's a big win on the road because I'm starting to look at the Bears, and I don't want to do this to them. I'm not going to put them in the same category as a team like, say, the Giants. But if you have aspirations of winning your division, which the shit is wide open now because Detroit look like they're going to take I don't know. Like, I'm not ready to put Detroit in the trash. It's easy to have these, hot takes after 1 week of football. I'm not doing that. Yeah, they look bad. Yep, they look rough. It's week 1 of the NFL season is week 4 of the preseason. Okay, who are we kidding? How many penalties the Bears had tonight? They looked like they were still playing preseason football. How many games did we watch this week where you said, "Bro, this shit is sloppy. This is nasty work"? That's why teams need to play guys in the preseason more, but it's not going to happen. We'll see what happens with Detroit and if they, get their act together or if they're going to take a step back this year. Green Bay's going to be better. That may be ultimately the team that you end up chasing. Whatever the case may be, if you have aspirations of winning the division, you probably need to go ahead and sweep the Bears. Probably need to go ahead and do that. That's a big win on the road. That's a really big win on the road. Hell of a comeback. Oh, and you got yourself a punt returner. That kid Price, damn, he nice. Oh, shit. Let me say it twice. That kid Price, he nice. You got yourself a punt returner too. He might break one this year. He might break one this year. Y'all stay with some good return men, though. Y'all having so many good return men, you be giving them away. Y'all used to, what's Wongwu that's in, I think he with the Jets now. Kene Wongwu. Like, y'all stay with a return man that can break it at any time. Y'all got y'all another one. He nice. Anyway, I digress. Let's see. Let's talk about the Bears. And I did my whole Caleb spiel already. I don't need to do that. I actually thought the defense played well. I know they unraveled in the fourth quarter. But if you're a Commanders fan, you got to understand, this was almost us. This is what it would have looked like if we weren't playing an inferior Giants team with Russell Wilson and an inferior offensive line opposite of us. Like, this is exactly what could have happened to us. I hope you are aware. When you play with your food, you end up choking. That's what happens. When you play with your food, you end up choking. That's what happened with the Ravens yesterday. That's what happened to the Bears tonight. And we effed around, and the only reason we did not choke is because the Giants are that bad. Don't play with your food, man. Put it away. All right? Don't talk with your mouth full. Don't be over here kikiing while you got a mouthful of... Finish your food, man. Don't play around with it. Because it's going to go down the wrong tube, and you're going to be in some trouble. That's what happened to the Bears tonight. They kept playing with their food. I said, Ben, why are you going for it on fourth down here? They got a rookie quarterback that is shell-shocked. Take the damn points. Nah, I came from Detroit. With Dan Campbell, and he instilled in me to be aggressive. So I'm going to just go for it for the sake of going for it. And he had an open receiver. This ain't Jared Goff, bro. You ain't in Detroit no more. Take the damn points. Then he decides to take the points because he don't have no choice. And Cairo Santos misses. And I kept saying, you keep bullshitting. And Joe Buck said it. He said, for as crazy as this sounds and as bad as it feels, the Vikings are only down 11 points. And he said, even if Santos makes this field goal as he was lining up, they will still only be down 2 scores. And then he missed. And it was at that moment that entire game changed. They got great field position. You know, Jordan started getting some rush lanes. And all of a sudden, you get into that rhythm. Mason's killing them. JJ now can breathe a little bit. And he starts getting into a rhythm. Next thing you know, the floodgates open. They get the first touchdown. Then they get the second. And you can see with every single score, mind you, Caleb was already looking like his best friend was on his deathbed when it was 17-6. So as every touchdown gets scored by the Vikings, it's now 17-12. The pressure is mounting on him. He's feeling it. The weight of the world is officially on his shoulders, and they just keep putting more shit on him. And then he goes out, and now he's benching shit. Wide open receiver in the flats. I don't think he was going to get the first down, but he throw the shit 5 yards over his head. I'm like, okay, what are you doing, bro? What are we doing right now? You're not moving around no more. Alameda Zacchaeus open in the flats. You stand there, you get hit while you're throwing it. It landed his feet. Now you run out of bounds, right? You stay on the sidelines. I don't know what you think you about to do, and you step out of bounds for a 4-yard lot. Like, he start doing dumb shit because he's starting to feel the pressure. Like, I gotta go make a play. What do you tell? What's the sideline reporter? What's my girl name? Damn. He told her before the game, don't try to be Superman until it's time. When just take completions, run the offense, and then when I need to be Superman, be Superman. Right? he started to feel like I got to go be Superman, and he started cutting up. DJ Moore, wide ass open, miss. And I said, you can see it though. You can watch the whole thing play out. I thought the defense played well tonight, well enough to win. I know they unraveled in the fourth quarter. Again, you always like to see your new addition step up. And Dio Adangbo did exactly that tonight. He played well. Yeah, he had some penalties, hands to the face and all of that bullshit, personal foul, roughing the passer penalty, all that good stuff. He was disruptive as shit tonight. He was a problem. That is a great sign if you are a Bears fan, because I think Dexter is going to continue to get better. Now you add Dio to that line with Montez Sweat. You got a nice little thing going on there. And then I think Grady Jarrett still has some football left in him, some good football left in him. So I think ultimately that's going to be a good group. And you were missing TJ Edwards, two of your corners, right? You were without some stuff tonight, and they held up. Nashawn Wright with the pick six. Glad that he was able to come back in the game. The defense, I don't worry about the Bears defense. That's not the issue. The issue with them is offense. You just don't know which offense is going to show up. And we'll see how long it takes for everything to coalesce offensively. Don't get my man DJ Moore. You don't throw no hospital balls, bro. Come on now. You got to take care of your guys. Damn. Like, he was trying to get somebody decapitated tonight. How many times we see a tight end over the middle of the field having to die for some shit? Like, don't put your guys in that type of position, man. Take care of your guys. Anyway, I don't like Cairo Santos. And I don't know. I looked at the two kickers, and I still took him because I said he's going to make 2 field goals. That's all he had to do. And I fault Ben Johnson for not kicking the first one and electing to kick and electing to go for it. Just kick the damn field goal. They could have used them 3 points, boy. Shit, they lost by 3. Go figure, right? But in Ben Johnson's mind, he's not going to blame the decision to go for it on 4th down. He's going to say, I had another field goal attempt with you that you missed. Well, that one was from 50. Cairo Santos ain't a 50, he can, but that ain't what you want him kicking, man. Trust me, this ain't what you want. You don't want him kicking 50 and 52 and 54-yard field goals. You don't want that. He's one of those Sean Sweezum type kickers where, hey, 48, 46, 38, money. He's not going to miss. You start the further back you go, the more dicey it becomes because his leg ain't like that. He'll learn. But ultimately, this is a tough one. If you're Ben Johnson, this one stinks because you wanted to come out, you wanted to make a statement. Every opportunity was there for you to run away and hide with this game. This didn't have to be close, let alone a loss. It didn't have to be close. And you missed opportunities. And in this league, it's a momentum game, is football. It is a momentum game. And you saw it tonight. You saw it last night with the Bills and Ravens, that at any moment, Uncle Mo can get up and walk across the field, right? And get comfortable. And it is at that moment where you are officially in trouble. In trouble. And after the missed Cairo Santos field goal, Uncle Mo said, man, they got better refreshments on that sideline. And that brother got up and calmly, as they went to commercial break, walked over to the other sideline, and he ain't never come back. He ain't never get up. He got right comfortable, put his feet up. They gave him all the refreshments he could stand, and that brother took a nap on that Viking sideline. Bears ain't never see that man again. That's tough. That's a tough way to go out. So, anyway, I digress. Big win for the Vikings. I think you got yourself one. I really, truly do. That's a tough one if you're a Bears fan. I mean, you're probably used to these by now, but that's rough. And this is the part that is the hardest to process. The man started the game 10 of 10, and he was locked in, and he was checking it down, and he was decisive. He was eluding rushers. He was making plays. He was like, oh shit, here we go. The light bulb might have finally, Ben Johnson might have really gotten to this guy. He's decisive, ball's coming out. And eventually he reverted back to his old ways. He started taking an extra tick in the pocket. He started seeing the rush, feeling the rush. You know, he started trying to avoid and trying to do too much. And then he started missing open receivers. He started getting erratic, and you're like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, woohoo. Where was the guy that we saw at the beginning of the game that was cool, calm, and collected and poised? Where's that guy at? Well, now shit has changed. I'm feeling pressure now, and that guy doesn't exist anymore. And that's my issue with Caleb Williams. And, you know, I don't think that guy ever came back. He made some plays, you know, and I also thought Ben Johnson mismanaged that end of game situation because, bro, you need 2 scores regardless. And I get that the touchdown is the harder of the 2 to get, but you don't have time to be bullshitting around. After the DJ Moore miss, that was the one. That was your opportunity right there. That was it. Caleb missed. It was at that moment where you had to decide, and I get it. Cairo Santos had already missed a field goal. So, you know, you might not have the most confidence in him at that point, but it was at that moment where you should have said, that was our chance. All right, go get the field goal because you need both of them anyway. Go get the field goal and kick the ball off. They're going to run it on first down. You call your first time out, or your last time out, rather. They're going to run the ball again. 2-minute warning is going to hit. And they got a decision to make. Are we going to put the ball in the air in J.J. McCarthy's hands, which they would not have done because he's a rookie? Or are we going to run it a third time, run this bitch down about 117, call the timeout, and now you're getting the ball back? No timeouts? Going to have to go the length of the field, but at least you'll have a chance. Got to know the game, bro. Got to know the game, bro. You didn't give your team a chance when you decided the touchdown right now is more important than time. You're wrong. You need 2 scores regardless. Get the points now. Give yourself a chance to possess the football with an opportunity to tie or win the game. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. You gave yourself a chance to have the ball back with 9 seconds. What are you going to do with 9 seconds, bro? And no timeouts. Got to know the game. He'll learn. That's his first game as a head coach. He'll learn. He'll learn. Anyway, I digress. So what we'll do is we'll get a word from one of our sponsors. We'll come back on the other side, and we'll get to the comment section. I know you guys got a lot to say, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. So with that said, let's get to the skill game, brought to you by Sleeper.
The skill game, brought to you by Sleeper.
All right. Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app that focuses on bringing people together through sports and gaming. And what I also want to make sure I communicate, because I don't think I've done a good enough job of doing this. Sleeper is available in, I think, over 25 states. So you need to make sure that it is available in your state, right? And you'll go through the process when you download the app, which you should do, by the way, right? You should download the app just to see if you're eligible, if you're in the state that is eligible. But download the app. You got to go through the verification process. And once you do that, they're going to ask you, because you're going to put your information in, and it's going to find what state you're in. And they'll be able to tell you, oh, sorry, it's not eligible in your state. And then you can go on out about your business. But you need to get this app. This app, again, has enhanced my football watching experience. I enjoyed watching the games this weekend because I had extra things on the line. And I didn't get it done tonight. And I blame myself for tonight's mishaps. Although, and this is, you rationalize things sometimes. I should have hit my picks tonight. I'm gonna tell you exactly why we're gonna go through these, but nonetheless, I got robbed tonight, and I'm not happy about it. Because even though I think I did myself a disservice by rushing these picks, I should have. I had to. It was time for me to go pick my kids up, and so I rushed through these picks with y'all, and I didn't take the time that I should have. Even though I still think I did a really good job. There's one pick I would have taken back had I had more time. I know I would have made a smarter decision, but in my haste, I did what I did, and I still should have come out victorious. Let's get to it. So here's the app. You can see it on the screen. It's so user-friendly. All right. It is so user-friendly. As you can see, I'm going to go to NFL, right? Now you see all the games here at the top. So Thursday will be the next game that is available. My Commanders will be taking on the Green Bay Packers. They have a special here with Jaden Daniels, as you can see right here, that I'm going to take advantage of as we get closer to that game. But we're going to hit picks because, as you can see, my picks, I made some picks tonight that had to do with this Vikings game. So I only hit one of my 4 picks, right? So here's the thing. And JJ McCarthy stalled me out, bro. Like Debo. Stall him out, Debo. JJ McCarthy stalled me out all the way until the last touchdown that he scored, where he rushed for the touchdown. He would not run to save his life. He stayed in that pocket, and he was starting to deliver. Even when things weren't going well and there was pressure and he was taking, I was like, bro, just run. Go get me my 17.5 yards. Then you can do whatever you want to do. But then he saved his best for last. You go and save the best for last. He went and saved the best for last, got the 25 yards or the 18 that I needed, 25 total in the game rushing. But Cairo Santos, bro, I just needed him to make the damn field goal. That's it. I wasn't asking for much. Do your job, okay? Make your 2 field goals, make your 1 extra point, and I would have had what I needed. You give me just what I needed. Just do what you were told, bro. Make the kick. But I blame Ben Johnson for this, because if he would have took the first field goal instead of going for it, much closer, Cairo would have made that kick. But nonetheless, I missed it by 1 point, 1 kick point. 1 kick point, which I would have had he made his field goal. So it fell short there. Should have had that one. I picked the wrong kicker. I should have went with Will Ricard. You live and you learn. Because I told y'all before I invested, I don't even like Cairo Santos. I don't like Cairo Santos. DeAndre Swift, I knew this was a guarantee. In my mind, I'm like, bro, he's catching for more than 16. Ben Johnson didn't throw 1 single screen. I'm screaming the entire, throw a screen to DeAndre Swift. What are we doing? But even though DeAndre Swift had 12 yards receiving in the first quarter, I was like, oh, I know I'm good. Caleb Williams threw a pass to DeAndre Swift right before the half. He caught it. It was a gain of 11. He got out of bounds. They called the most phantom holding penalty on the right guard, who had a rough night. False starts, all kinds of shit. Right. The second round pick out of Tennessee from a couple years ago, whatever round they took him in. Matter of fact, he a first round pick. That wasn't no damn holding, man. Everybody was like, yo, they asked Russell York. He was like, I don't know where they see holding. There's no contact there. It looks like he just slipped. He didn't get another catch the rest of the night. That would have put him at 23 yards receiving. I would have had my 16.5. So I got jerked with Cairo Santos, missing that field goal. I got jerked with DeAndre Swift with them calling a phantom holding penalty when he had an 11-yard catch that would have put him at 23 yards on the night. And then DJ Moore screaming wide open. He hit the Randy Moss, arm in the air. Throw me the rock, bro. I'm open. Touchdown. Caleb Williams throw the shit 4 yards over his head. I can't make this stuff up, man. I'd have had my anytime DJ Moore touchdown. I'd have had my DeAndre Swift 16.5 yards receiving, and I'd have had my Cairo Santos 6.5 kick points, and I would have had all of these hit. I didn't make bad choices. They just didn't execute. And you know what? Sometimes it bees like that. But I'm going to win more than I lose. You can see where my head is. You can see the shit I'm over here putting together. Man, come get this money and stop playing. Link is in the description of this video and every single video that I do. Click on that link, download the app, use the promo code LTN to get you a 100% match on up to $100 deposit. That means if you put $100 in, they're going to give you an additional $100 to play with. Why wouldn't you do that? As you can see, I'm up right now. You see this right here? I'm up right now. I'm stuck right now because I'm up right now. I've won 3 contests. That was 3 in a row, too. Tonight broke the streak. I'll just start another one. No worries. I'm like that. And you can come along for the ride, too. All you got to do is download the Sleeper app. And trust me, it'll be one of the best decisions you've made because it will enhance your football or your sports watching experience. NBA, Major League Baseball, college football, they're all available on this app. And you know I'm an NFLer for life. So I'm all over it. Get in the game. You can turn every day into payday with the Sleeper app. You know what it is. Shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring this stream. And that, my friends, is the skill game brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper. So let's get to the comment section and see what you guys have to say. Looks like somebody else got hurt by that bogus penalty that took away the DeAndre Swift catch yards, receiving yards. Bro, we here, man. We share the same pain. Now, yours was for a lot more money than mine, but it still hurts nonetheless. Let's get to the comment section, see what y'all talking about. I said a lot tonight. I said a lot. I told you I felt like it was a hot take, and I wasn't looking to create a stir. I'm just telling y'all how I feel. Y'all know I'll be on the mental side of this shit. So the 3 E's, that's what I do. Educate, enlighten, entertain. You never know which 3 you're going to get. You might get all 3. You might get 1 of the 3. You might get 2 of the 3. You might get all of them. I think you might have gotten all of them tonight. I don't know. Let's get to the comment section. So, Stephen Combs, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. Mob, you know what to do. Show Stephen some love. Welcome with open arms. Welcome to the squad. Stephen Combs. Glad to have you on board. Shadow Striker 789. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes 50 lay to 800 mofo. Vikings minus 15 Jones. Touchdown. JJ under 31 attempts. Caleb plus 200 passing yards. He got 211 from the last play of the game. Let's effing go. Here's some bread. Look at that backdoor cover, bro. The passing yards on the last play. Oh, that's some sweet action, bro. Yikes. I wanted to stay away from the yardage. So remember, if you were here with me for the skill game, I was playing JJ McCarthy less than the passing yards. I knew he wasn't hitting 200 and whatever they had him at. It was like 211 or something like that. I'm like, oh, hell no. He ain't hitting that tonight. And then I fell into the trap of the rush yards instead. It still hit, but I had to work for that one. I just knew he's going to run a lot because he's going to be under duress. He's young. You know, your first inclination as a young quarterback is, if my first read ain't there, I'm going to just take off. He was hanging tough in that pocket, buddy. He wasn't going nowhere. He's like, hey, I'm going to either stay in his pocket and take a sack, or I'm going to find, my second or third option, but I ain't going nowhere. This is my house, and y'all ain't running me out of my house. My granddaddy built this house. He won't leave him, boy. I was like, just run, JJ. He's like, nah, bro. I'm going to do it with this right arm. Hey, congratulations, bro. Congratulations on hitting that. Love it. I love it. AJ Meehan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, 14-2 to start winners and losers. Love it. It was a struggle for the kid over here, man. But I salvaged it by winning the game tonight and winning the game last night. Because it could have been a lot worse for the kid. I was this close from being on some 9-7 shit this week. Instead, I'm 11-5, and I have no complaints, none whatsoever. Because I did some really flagrant shit this weekend, and I should have paid for it. I knew damn well the Dolphins stunk. I just was like, yeah, but Tua's healthy. Tyreek finna get off. Daniel Jones is starting. Stick to your guns, bro. Stick to your guns. Congratulations to you for going 14-2. That's a hell of a start. My goal is just don't die in the first couple weeks. Don't look up and you 6-7 games back. Now you fighting an uphill battle. Just hang around till shit mellows out and then make a move, right? Wind. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, thank you, Bears, for drafting a bust and giving us 5. I'm not going that far and calling him a bust. I don't think Caleb Williams is a bust. I do, however, think that he is a guy that mentally struggles. I do think that's a real thing. And because of that, I don't know if he'll ever reach his true full potential. Sometimes in the NFL, and not sometimes, the vast majority of the time, it really truly matters who drafts you. You can destroy a perfectly good player by taking him and putting him in a really bad organization. We've seen it happen so many times throughout the course of history. And I'm not saying that the Bears organization is a bad one. They've done everything that I feel like they've needed to do to put him in a position to win. The only thing that I thought they could have done was they should have fired Matt Eberflus so that Caleb was getting a new coach when he came in and he didn't have to, uproot everything and he could just grow with that coach. I thought that they did him a disservice by doing it that way. But outside of that, they've given him weapons. He came in with weapons. They've given him more weapons. They have upgraded the offensive line. They went and got him an offensive-minded head coach. I don't know if that's the right pairing because of the coach's personality and Caleb's personality, but I do know that they've done everything I feel like they needed to do to give him a chance to be successful. Now the question is, can he be? Can he be? You know how, if you watch Quarterback the first season of Quarterback with Kirk Cousins, and he was seeing the team psychologist, and that team psychologist was like his best friend on the team? Like, Caleb Williams probably should be getting, help from the team psych. Like, that's a real thing, by the way. That doesn't make you weak. There are guys that have made a living off of being, team psychologists that are great at their job. And I think Caleb Williams would benefit. If he's not already doing it, I think he would benefit from that. Because Kirk Cousins is not, like, Kirk Cousins mentally struggles, right? He gets down on himself. He goes through those different, periods where he's not as confident as he should be. And he starts, and you can see when it's snowballing for him. You can see it when it happens to Caleb too. I don't think he's a bust. But I am thankful that they took him. They weren't considering anybody else. Somebody told me, I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody told me that the Bears GM, Ryan Poles, didn't watch any Jaden Daniels film. None. He was so confident that he was taking Caleb Williams that he didn't do homework on any other quarterback. Great. You got the number 1 pick. You do whatever the hell you want. I am forever in debt to you, my friend. Video channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB video channel. Writes KOC, great coaching on calling that last kick return. There's levels to this coaching shit, right? I talked about Raheem Morris blowing it for his Falcons last year against us in that game, right? Absolutely mangled the clock. Killed any opportunity of them beating us. The man took 2 timeouts to overtime with him that didn't roll over, right? Treated them damn timeouts like they were old ass Sprint Autel Nokia minutes. Like them shits was finna roll over. I talked about coaches understanding the moment, knowing what to do, how the clock works, what is needed in this particular situation. Ben Johnson clearly didn't understand that it was not in his best interest to chase the touchdown. Time is of the essence. Time is what's important right now. You need 2 scores regardless. You had 1 shot at the touchdown. 1. You had 1 shot. And when he missed DJ Moore, he needed to go for the field goal. Instead, he ran it all the way down to 202, and that allowed for Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell to make a smart decision and tell his return man, Chandler, come on out of the end zone with that thing, buddy. Run them last 2 seconds off. Now they don't get the additional timeout of the 2-minute warning. That's going to allow us to run it all the way down like they did to 9 seconds and kick the ball off. So you see how these things work. You understand that as a coach, it is your job to know the rules of the game, understand how the clock works, and make decisions based off of that. And he did that. Y'all give me 1 second. Oh, okay. My bad, y'all. My My son woke up crying. I'm like, what's going on? I'm thinking something's wrong. He just got to use the bathroom. I'm like, buddy, it's okay. Let's go to the bathroom, wash your hands, and go back to bed. Like, why are we crying? Kids. I don't know. But yeah, KOC telling him to come out of the end zone. Todd Chandler, come on out, bro. Smart coaching. He knew the time, he knew the situation, he knew how, and Ben Johnson didn't. And again, in this league, it's a fine line between winning and losing. Like, it's a very thin line. And a lot of these coaches, I don't know what they be doing and like who they got around them, but they're not getting the right information. I know that much. Let's see. Thomas Errington. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Thomas writes, got him, Lou. JJ anytime TD. I remember you told me that on the skill game earlier. Rome 4 receptions. JJM 25 rushing yards. That rushing TD put at 25 on the money. Let's go. Hashtag I believe. You hit it right on the head and you called it. You gave me all those picks. And I thought about it like when it was too late. And I said, I shouldn't have rushed because I wasn't confident. Remember, I told you I didn't think a lot of points were going to be scored. So in knowing that I didn't think a lot of points were going to be scored, which they were way more points scored than I thought, because I was telling y'all 17-16, 19-17, 20, and it was heading in that direction early until the fourth quarter hit. I should have stayed away from anything points related. It should have just been receptions. The kick points, I'm always going to rock with a kicker because that's easy. If I feel good about the kicker and how the team plays, I'm always go with the kicker points. But it should have been receptions. It should have been, rush yards or less passing yards, that kind of thing. It shouldn't have been anything touchdown related. And if it was, it should have been Jettas. I should have went with Justin Jefferson because he's going to find the end zone. That's what I should have did. But congratulations to you, man. You were on it. You had it, and you got it, man. Hell of a job. What it do, Lou? What's going on, Black LB? The Ferrari is out. Comeback win in his first game on Monday Night Football. Let's go. The Ferrari is out of the garage, baby. You took it for a spin tonight. How you like that? Huh? I think you got you one. I think you do. I think you got you one, Black LB. Robbie Witherall. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, what's more accurate, Caleb or Richardson? You mean who's more accurate? Oh, that's what you said. My bad. Who's more accurate, Caleb or Richardson? Oh, Caleb. That's not even a question. Anthony Richardson is, from an accuracy standpoint, horrible. He's horrendous. And the crazy part about Anthony Richardson is he will throw the most gorgeous ball you've ever seen in your life. Just put it on the button. There's a throw he made to Alec Pierce early last season. I want to say it was week 1 last season. I think they were playing the Texans. He rolls out to his left, sets up shop under duress. He's about to get crushed. And he throws the most gorgeous ball I might have seen all the year last year. Like, he couldn't have walked up and handed it to him any better than that. I'm like, oh my God. And then, the next throw, it'll be a shallow cross and he'll throw the shit 5 yards over the dude's head or 4 yards out in front of him. And you're just like, bro, how you hit a half court shot and then run all the way up to the rim and miss a layup? What are we doing? Caleb has misses. We started tonight. I think one of the things Caleb struggles with is touch. And he has it. He can do it. But everything seems like it's on a frozen rope for him. Like, he don't put enough air on the ball. He struggles. I think he struggles with layering the football. Does Caleb. Because he can do it. He has touch. He has touch. But Caleb's got way better accuracy. Mr. Pink. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Mr. Pink writes, Caleb is a fruitcake. Chill, man. Chill out, Mr. Pink. Chill out. Nail polish, lip gloss, runway model ass, hospital ball, zero confidence, absolute beta. Made $200 on the JJTD only bright spot. Look, I'm not here to call names. I don't judge people. To each its own. You do whatever makes you feel comfortable. You can be all those things and still be a hell of a football player. He just upstairs. He's got to put it together. And however that looks for him, it looks for him. But just figure that shit out. He figured that out. The talent is there. The physical gifts are there. The physical gifts are there. Shout out to you. It seems like everybody made money tonight but me. But I'm happy for y'all. That just means I got to be better, right? Shout out to you, Mr. Pink, for hitting for 200 tonight. Trey Fryer. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Trey writes, what's up, Lou? Definitely was a great game. The NFL did not miss. All 4 of the primetimers hit. All 4 of them hit. And outside of the Green Bay Jets game, I think they got the best games of the weekend. The Falcons Tampa Bay game was crazy too. That was an insane game. But they got it right. The NFL got it right. Williams is not one of them. Don't put 5 on it. Salute and blessings to you and the family. Keep putting on for the Commanders. The DMV got you. I appreciate that. We definitely got the right one. We definitely got the right guy. I am so elated that we ended up where we ended up. So elated. Tyreek Stroman. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Tyreek writes, Tyson Bagent wins this game, Lou. Don't shoot the messenger. Hey, look, man. It's only a matter of time, and I don't know that to be true or not, okay? He's got more experience than Caleb, right? Because he was here a year longer than Caleb was. So there's that. And he's a more mentally tough guy than Caleb is because of where he had to come from, how he had to get it out the mud, how he ended up in the NFL, how he had to fight to stay here. Like, he's wired differently. And so I think the way he goes about his business more so aligns with the way Ben Johnson is wired. And that's why I'm saying it's only so long of Ben Johnson sitting back and watching some of this shit before they signed Tyson Bagent to a 2-year extension for a reason. Look, again, you said don't kill the messenger. I'm saying don't kill the messenger. They signed him to it. They didn't have to do that right now. They could have waited. They said, no, we're going to sign him to a 2-year extension because the head coach likes him a lot. And so we'll see. We'll see. I've seen this happen before. I watched Heath Schuler be drafted as a top 5 pick only for Gus Frerotte, the 7th round pick, to be better. I've seen it happen before. It takes a lot for you to actually bench a top 5 pick, in this case, a number 1 overall pick. It takes a lot for you to get to that point in favor of an undrafted guy at that. But if I've ever seen anybody that would be willing to do it, it's Ben Johnson. It's Ben Johnson. I don't know if Tyson Bagent wins the game tonight. I can't say that for a fact. But he probably does. Because the defense played so well and J.J. McCarthy was on the struggle bus. All they needed was 1 or 2 plays to be made by the quarterback, and this game would have been over. But, again, I can't say that for sure, for certain, Tyson Bagent would have made those plays. All right. Cole Upston. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Or thank you for becoming a member of the MOBB. Stand up. Cole, you in the building, mob. You know what to do. Show Cole some love. Welcome. Open arms. Welcome to the squad. Cole Upston. Glad to have you on board. Mr. Ron B, OG, triple OG. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Right. What's up, Lou? What's going on, OG? I repeat my annual praise song. I'm so glad we drafted number 2. singing glory. Hallelujah. I am so glad we drafted number 2 that year as well. We tried to mess it up, but as the football gods would see fit, they said, you've gone through enough heartache. We're going to bless you on this one. And boy, did they ever. And I am forever indebted to the football gods for that. Because we ain't got to worry about nothing for the next decade plus. We got one of them ones. How sweet it is. Corin Smith, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, asked Rio on his show earlier which one of these two has the greatest upside. He said Caleb, but that was in the first half. What says you? Hashtag SOTG. Who has of the two quarterbacks? Oh, it's Caleb for sure. Caleb's, I've said this before. I've since rescinded my statement after seeing Jaden play. But Caleb, to me, had the highest upside of any of the quarterbacks in that 2024 draft class. I think since I've watched Jaden and seen what he's capable of, his upside is greater than that of Caleb's. But I still think it's Jaden than Caleb in terms of upside. Like, Caleb is super talented. Nobody's denying that. Like, you could justify him being the number 1 overall pick over Jaden Daniels if he gets this shit up here corrected or at least straightened out. It's not like there's something wrong with his mind. It's not like he's making mistakes. He's not seeing the field. He's misreading coverage and he's throwing picks and shit. Like, you can't fix Jameis Winston. He's always going to make mistakes, right? He ain't doing that. He just needs to be able to not ride the roller coaster of emotions. Like, you can't do this shit during an NFL game because too much shit happens during an NFL game. You can't ride the wave. You can't ride the roller coaster. You got to stay here. There's going to be a ton of shit that happens. You got to stay here. And Caleb Williams don't do that. If he can do that, or at least not do this shit, but just do this, you talking about a Pro Bowl, all-pro type quarterback. His problem is he just all over the damn map. He just all over the damn place. And he just got to settle down. It's not even a question who's the more talented of the two, if you ask me. Corin Smith, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Excuse me. This is Trey Fryer who doubled up. My bad. Trey Fryer. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? I also want to say I do hope his mental is okay. I didn't mean any harm. Love and peace, Lou. No, you didn't mean any harm by it. I don't think I didn't take it that way. Because again, I don't think like there's anything wrong with him off the field. I just think mentally, when things don't go well, he starts to put undue pressure on himself. So that's the way I see his mental struggle, where it's coming from, is when things don't go well, he starts to put pressure on himself and he blames himself for things. And instead of him just saying, man, I made a mistake, he elevates the mistake and makes it bigger than what it really is. Man, I just took a 10-yard intentional grounding that hurt us. Now he's on the sideline looking like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. Like, bro, you came back the next play, threw a 12, 13-yard pass, got back in the field goal range. It's okay. Be better next time. Move on. Shit happens. You still got a whole quarter and a half of football left. Like, what are we doing? Don't sulk on the sidelines. The Black LB, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member. Or double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Yo, Lou, the Ferrari hit a few speed bumps. Hey, and you know it's low to the ground too, so you don't be driving all fast and shit in the whip now. The new whip at that. Come on, Black LB. Don't be out here skirt in the whip now. Pump your brakes and drive slow, homie. Drive slow. He says, but the car is out. What Tracy Chapman say? We got a fast car. Y'all want a ticket? Let's go. Oh, man. You stupid. Just take care of that car now. You only get one. You don't want to be back in the market for another whip. Take care of that thing now. Take care of it. Corin Smith, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Double up. Thank you for doubling up with rights. Can or will Johnson pull the plug on Caleb this year? I think it has to get really bad. You got to understand where Ben Johnson came from. He came from an organization that when he got there, they were bottom of the basement dwellers, bottom feeders, and he watched Dan Campbell come in there and resurrect that program and turn it around. So, and he watched them stick with Jared Goff, even though Jared Goff stunk it up his first year, right? And that might not be fair to Jared Goff. They just weren't a good team. But Goff was he was doing some dumb shit that first year. But they stuck with Jared Goff. And so I do think there are going to be some elements of Detroit that he brings with him. But I also know that Ben Johnson ain't come there to lose. He came from a program that was the #1 seed last year and was essentially, one quarter away from the Super Bowl the year prior to that. He didn't come to Chicago to, they're already good. That's why he took the job. They're already good. They're already talented. So if he thinks the reason that they're not winning is one guy, and I can just take this one guy out and put in a different guy, he's going to do that. I don't think that happens anytime soon. You say, will he pull the trigger this year? Caleb would have to absolutely melt down, he would have to crash out, melt down to the point where I can't even evaluate the other players on the field because he's playing that poorly. And I don't see Caleb doing that. I think you'll get to a point where if we ever get to a point in a game where Caleb is physically fine, but they put in Tyler Bajan, and he could hit us with we just needed a spark. That's the first sign of, uh-oh. I think you get to the offseason, if it doesn't go well, let's say they go 6-11 this year, and, Caleb was up and down, hit or miss. And, we watched the games and we're like, yo, they could have won 9-10 games this year if Caleb Williams just played better. I see them having a competition next year in camp. I can see that. I don't see him getting benched this year. But I will tell, and I said this earlier, if he plays extremely poor, he will get benched this year. I just don't see Caleb doing that. Even though he took a bunch of sacks last year and people were hypercritical of him, he still had a very solid season statistically. They were in a bunch of ball games. He just didn't make winning plays. So I think it's going to be similar this year. They're going to be in a bunch of games. He's not going to play that poorly. It's just it's a play here, it's a play there. Again, how long will Ben Johnson allow that to go on before he decides I got to intervene and step in? I don't know. I don't see him benching him this year, though. No, I don't. Because I don't think Caleb's going to play that poorly. Tyreek Stroman, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Coach Lumo, real talk. What are your words to Williams tomorrow morning meeting in your office? Got the Lions' first home game next week. Oh. If I'm coaching Caleb Williams, my message to him is, hey, we regroup. We let one get away. We all had a hand in it. I made some mistakes last night. You made some mistakes last night. We collectively lost that game last night. That's not on you. That's on all of us. We got to be better. All of us collectively as a group got to be better. You control what you can control. Or as I like to say, control the controllables. You be the best version of Caleb Williams. You got this, bro. You're the most talented quarterback in the league. You can do this. Like, you got to build him up. And you got to make sure you hold him accountable. Hey, you can't miss this throw right here. You got to come off of it. As soon as you see that corner, eyes go to the flats. You got to cut it loose, Caleb. You can't waste any time. That safety shouldn't have time to get over there to DJ. You drop that thing in there, you let DJ get to the end zone. Right? You got to sit down. You got to have them conversations with him, which I know he's going to. But you got to do it in a way that he can receive the information and he's not blaming himself for the loss. Because everybody had a hand in it. They didn't lose this game because of Caleb Williams. He had a hand in it. He missed some throws, but they didn't lose it. Carlos Santos makes that field goal. I don't think we're having this conversation right now. Truth be told. They go up 20-6. I don't think that J.J. McCarthy has that renaissance in this game and turns in a tremendous fourth quarter for the ages and a star is born. Like, Caleb Williams ain't had nothing to do with that missed field goal. It's a 50-yard field goal. You expect every kicker in the league at this point to make a 50-yard field goal, and he missed. So, yeah. That's basically what I would tell him is, hey, we got to be better next week. We all had a hand in this. Build him up. You're the most talented quarterback in this league. You can make any play on the field, but sometimes you just got to make the right play. Not the big play, the right play. Black Al B. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Black Al B. Right. So listen, my QB had adversity hit him in the face and came out on the other side of it. Your quarterback had adversity hit him in the face last year when he got injured and missed the whole season. Gritty, but what's your words? It's a win. You know what it is. It wasn't pretty. It was gritty. And most importantly, it was a win. It was a dub. That's all that matters. Found a way to get it done. That's what the good ones do. Christy Banks, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. The Black LB, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. Mob, you know what to do. Welcome our guy, Black LB, back to the mob where he belongs. Welcome to the squad, Black LB. And once again, shout out to Christy Banks. Just Andre, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, how you feel about Mike McDaniel as our OC? Him and Quinn have a connection. You think Bill can get 1,000 this season and be a 1,300-yard rusher in the future? I've had either you were the one who asked me this before or someone else has asked me about Mike McDaniel as our OC if he gets fired from Miami. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him pairing up with Jaden. I think he is a good offensive coordinator, but I also think he does a lot of things that I don't know if I necessarily want our offense to mirror, if that makes sense. I don't love the Dolphins offense. It's fun. It's spread out. It's wide open, but I don't love it, if I'm being honest. I think Jaden, I think you have to run that type of offense that he runs because of Tua and his limited skill set. I think Jaden, you can do more with Jaden than I feel like their offense is simplistic in nature. And and again, you cater your offense to the talent that you have. Tua has a limited skill set. So I think he's catered the offense around Tua. It's not an imaginative offense from the standpoint of all the motion and the movement and all that shit. But the routes it's a very simple offense. A lot of movement, a lot of eye candy, but it's not complex in terms of what they're doing. But I think Jaden can handle so much more. I don't know how I feel about Mike McDaniel. Long story short, I don't know how I feel about him as an offensive coordinator. I don't know how I feel about him as a play caller. So I'm good with the guys in the building. I would, until Cliff isn't here, I'm riding with Cliff. I don't want to talk about Cliff not being here until he's not here. And DQ's doing all of this coach enrichment stuff because he's trying to build the next offensive coordinator in the building. So, yeah, I think Bill can get to 1,000 yards this season. I do. I was talking that 1,000 shit with the Kings, and they tried to, make me feel bad for the 1,000 talk. Like it was too much, which it probably was, and it probably is, because as you can see, right now he's not getting the bulk of the carries. And I don't know when they're going to finally say, all right, you'll get 18 carries. Like he might stay in that 10 to 12 range, and he's not going to have 82 yards every week on 10 to 12 carries. So I don't know if he'll be allowed to get enough touches to where, again, you only needed 63 yards, I believe, when it was a 16-game season. Now it's 17, so I'm guessing it's like 57 yards a game to get you to 1,000. Like, I'm pretty sure he could do that. Yes, he could be a 1,300-yard rusher in the future. Absolutely. I'm high on Bill, but you know that. Christy Banks, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, hey, Lou, I'm from your neck of the woods. Berkeley in the building. All right. Look at that. Berkeley. Just saying hello. And please tell my brother Thomas you don't hate Brian Robinson. I don't hate Brian Robinson. I never had. Look, I was a B-Rob stan. I like B-Rob. But if trading him cleared the space for Bill to get on the field, I'd do it in a heartbeat. And I already told you, I didn't think they were going to get anything for him. Once I saw the compensation, I was like, shh. We fleeced the 49ers, in my estimation, because I didn't think you were getting anything, let alone a 6th-round pick for him. So I feel good. But Berkeley, what up? Brandon N, thank you for the super chat. Greatly. Thank you for being a member for 16 months. Who writes, I can't lie, Lou. I thought Caleb was ass all day. You can't say that. That's not true. So you thought he was ass when he started 10 of 10 and he took him right down the field on the opening possession. You thought he was ass then? Come on. No, you didn't. If you did, then you just don't like Caleb Williams because he didn't start this game off like that. Tyreek Stroman, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Tyreek writes, 0-3 versus draft mates. Yeah, he lost to Jaden. He lost to J.J. McCarthy. And I believe he lost to Drake May. That was the most surprising of the three. And they weren't even close in that game against the Patriots. That was the part that was like, wait, what? And I think they were at home in that game too. I was like, wait, what? You let Drake May and company come in your house and spank you? Wait a minute. What am I watching right now? Yeah, man. It hasn't been a great start for him in that regard. But, we'll see what happens. Mr. Pink, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, Lou, I'm a chill. Caleb will claw and scratch in this league. Mental illness personified. If you want an NFL gambler to mentor you, it's on the house, bruh. By the way, watch the All 22. John Damn Bates. Say it again for the people in the back, Mr. Pink. John Damn Bates, everyone. If you don't got one, get you one. They changed the game for you. You don't got one, get you one. Money shot 217. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. He writes, Lou, are you really going to glance over that Santos weak leg? Couldn't get it out of the back of the end zone to save the 2-win. Look, man, I was going to leave Cairo Santos alone because I already don't like him because he don't have a big leg, to your point. And he had one job to do on that kickoff. Kick the bitch out of the end zone so that they can't run those 2 seconds off. And he couldn't do it. He kicked the ball as far as he humanly possibly could. That's as far as his leg would take it. And that shit didn't even go 6 yards into the end zone. That jank went like 4 yards deep. Like, I'm not going to glance over. I was just going to leave him alone. I'd already beat him up enough tonight. And I didn't feel the need to continue to kick his ass. Kick his ass, Seabass. I didn't feel like I needed to keep doing that. But since you brought it up, yeah. He couldn't, his weak ass leg couldn't even get the damn ball out of the end zone to preserve those 2 seconds. Do you know what a difference that would have made? Instead of them getting the ball back with 9 seconds, they would have gotten the ball back with 49 seconds. That's how big of a difference those 2 seconds made. It allowed them to run off 40 additional seconds because those 2 seconds would have acted as an additional timeout. But again, go back to Ben Johnson wasting time going after the touchdown instead of just taking a field goal and preserving it. Then you wouldn't have to worry about that. You would have definitely gotten that extra timeout with the 2-minute warning. Yep, I know the touchdown is the harder of the two to get. You're more likely to get the field goal first and get the touchdown than you are the touchdown and the field goal if you don't do it quickly. And you had your chance with a wide open DJ Moore and Caleb missed. At that point, you got to just cut your losses. You had another opportunity with Caleb Rush. It was still 208. You were fine there. Then when they said, nah, that ain't a touchdown, it was at that point where you'd probably just, again, you're already that close at that point, you got to go for the touchdown. I get it at that point. But after he missed DJ Moore, I would have just said, all right, it's field goal time. Black Al B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Black Al B writes, welcome back to the squad, man. Lou, what's crazy is tomorrow they'll talk about how the Bears lost this game and not about how my boys won it. With our starting left tackle out and Hitman out. That's exactly what they're going to do. And what you got to understand is Caleb Williams will always be a bigger story than J.J. McCarthy. He will always be a bigger story. So every time J.J. sees him, it needs to be on site. Because if you want that level of respect, you're going to have to beat it out of them. Because the story is always going to be Caleb Williams. He was the #1 overall pick. You understand? You know how that works? So they're definitely going to talk tomorrow. I've seen other fan bases suffer from that same syndrome. Chargers fans abhor Patrick Mahomes because no matter what they do, it's always about the Chiefs and what they did or didn't do. It's never about what the Chargers did. And so you guys are going to be in a similar situation. Like tomorrow, it's definitely, I'm no different than them. I spent the first 15, 20 minutes of this show talking about Caleb Williams. You guys won the game, not the Bears. I didn't spend the first 15 minutes talking about J.J. McCarthy. I talked about Caleb Williams because that moves the needle, and that's the guy that we were told is supposed to be the best of the group. So naturally, you expect a certain level of play from him, and when it doesn't happen, that's a story. So yeah, you already know. So this is what I want you to do because you already know the narrative and how the story goes. Don't be upset when it happens tomorrow. Don't be upset when you turn on First Take and that's what they're talking about instead of what J.J. McCarthy did. Don't be upset because you already know what's coming. Just precondition yourself to know if I want J.J. McCarthy talk, I might have to hang in there they'll give him a little segment at the back end, but then they ain't leading the show with it. They'll bury the lead real quick. So just understand what it is. Anyway, I digress. Before we get out of here, let's get one more word from our sponsors. Sleeper.
Sleeper is the best way to experience and connect over sports together. It's a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on games in real time with other users, get the fastest scores, blazing fast news and alerts right at your fingertips, play in fantasy leagues, and win real money on pick contests. So enjoy sports the way they were meant to, together. Download the #1 sports app today. Predict the hottest football stats like passing yards, receiving yards, touchdowns, interceptions, and much more to cash in on your daily fantasy football skills. Use promo code LTN and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. Sleeper.
So if you're not familiar with the Sleeper app, I was sleeping on Sleeper. My eyes have been opened. I have seen the light, and I am trying to spread the message as far as I can, as wide as I can, for as long as I can, because this app is incredible. It is a fantasy sports in real money gaming app that focuses on bringing people together through sports and gaming. And when I tell you that it is so user-friendly, the interface is so easy to navigate. Like, I've dealt with different apps before that it's like pulling teeth to try to get your money out of the app once you put it in. That's not the case here. Simple, easy transaction. Whatever you have tied to the account, you can send money to the app. You can pull money out when you win. No questions asked. It's easy, one touch to get everything done. Use the promo code LouieT to get you 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. The link is in the description of this video. Click the link, use the promo code LTN. Get that 100% match up to $100. And let's go to work. You got an opportunity to turn every day into payday. Get Sleeper today. Sleeper. That's going to do it for me, your man Louie T, here on Monday Night Football Overtime. Vikings get it done over the Bears on the night that they celebrated the 30-year anniversary. What was he? 40 years now? 85, so 95, 2005. Yeah, 40-year anniversary. Super Bowl 20. We about to be at Super Bowl 60. So the 40-year anniversary of the 85 Bears. And they threw up all over themselves in front of the legends of the game. Shameful. Vikings go in there and spoil the homecoming 27-24. JJ McCarthy started out rough, but boy, did he finish strong. 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to take the lead and ultimately win the game 27-24. Vikings 1-0, Bears dropped to 0-1, and they continue to search for some answers as to how this one slipped through their fingers. NFL killed it all week with the primetimers, from the Cowboys, Eagles on Thursday to the Chiefs, Chargers on Friday to the Bills, Ravens epic finish last night, and then this game here. Started out rough, but finished well. So let's see what week 2 does for an encore. That's going to do it for me, your man Louie T. I thank you guys for joining me. I look forward to chopping it up with you guys next time. Until then, you guys have a good one. Take care. God bless, and good night.